Welcome to the second episode of the Simon and Cole Show. I'm Cole.
I'm Simon.
Today we're going to talk to you about a problem that's been sweeping the nation and affecting many young people, and it's called online dating. And we don't really like it. So we're going to give you some of the pros and cons, weigh the reasons for online dating, but mostly tell you why we think it's kind of useless unless you're just decided that you don't want to be single anymore and you're like 50 and you want someone to grow old with. And then we're going to talk about one of the things that's come out of online dating, which is basically that now the dating has transitioned over to things that we never used for dating before, which is like Facebook and MySpace.
And Twitter.
And Twitter, exactly.
Social media.
Exactly. So why do we hate online dating, Simon?
We had a little discussion earlier about how it really sort of doesn't make a lot of sense to be in a place where you're not using your social life to interact with the real world, and how actually our social life has turned into the internet instead of being real social life.
Right. I mean, you'll hear people say for hours a day, they're spending literally hours a day on Facebook instead of hanging out with their friends or even going on a walk or just literally doing anything. Instead, they're sitting in front of their computer, commenting on other people's pictures and writing status updates and so on and so forth. But I remember you were saying that you thought that online dating took the adventure out of the process of dating in general.
Right. It's sort of like, if it's such a cookie cutter thing, and it really is like a way of saying, look, here's my personality, here's all these other people's personalities, let's actually match them up, and let's make it so that, let's make it perfect, let's make it so that it's actually flawless, like these two people will work together. There's no way to, there's no sense of adventure, there's no like, I don't really know what this girl is like in bed, I don't really know what this people's like personality is. It's like you get to see it all and it's all exposed there for you, instead of actually getting to know the person, which is completely insane.
Right, because a lot of the time, the people that end up together won't be the people that share the most in common or, just work the same, like have the same person, type A personality or whatever, but two people that completely contradict each other, because then they end up balancing each other out.
Right.
And what sites like eHarmony and Match.com do is they take all of that out of the equation and they're just like, okay, you linked up on 494 out of 498 points of our like really intricate, awesome personality test, so you must be a perfect match. And a lot of the time, it's going to work, almost 100% of the time, because if you're looking for someone, which is basically another issue that we have with it, right, is that you've decided, I don't want to be single anymore. I want a long-term relationship now. I'm not okay on my own. I want to be with someone else.
And I need this way of doing it. I need this, like, this medium. I need this way, because otherwise it's just purely not going to work for me.
Right. So of course, if you've decided that and you've gone on eHarmony, you've gone on Match.com, and you link and you're like, all right, I'm going to find someone who works perfectly with me. Well, if you go out, you start talking to someone online who's exactly the same as you in 95% of the ways in which you consider yourself to be expressing your personality, of course you're going to have a lot in common.
Yeah, right.
Of course it's going to seem like you've known them forever, and that you've never met anyone like them before. They totally understand you. Yeah, because they answered yes to the exact same 500 questions that you did.
Yeah, so there's no adventure. There's no sense of like not knowing who the person is. It's actually kind of exciting walking up to someone in a random social situation and beginning to talk to them, because you actually have no idea what they're like or what kind of personality they have or the things that they do like. When you sit down with someone at dinner and you know who they are already, it's almost like you know them. Like you basically know them already.
Exactly, and that's what people reference as a positive. They're like, oh my, on the commercial,
I didn't have to go through all the bullshit. It's like,
you're like, I feel like I've known this person my whole life.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, why do you not enjoy the process of getting to know new people? Like, did you not enjoy making the friends that you obviously didn't go on efriend.com to make your group of friends?
Yeah.
That's part of the fun of it. That's part of the process. And it's completely taking that out of it.
And I can actually understand why you would try online dating if you'd never tried it before, just to see what it was like. But I suspect that most of the people that are very social, that actually try it, end up not liking it as much for these reasons exactly. And it's not because they feel like it's weird and it has a social stigma. They just feel like, that wasn't fun. Like, that wasn't interesting at all to me. It wasn't something I actually want to continue doing.
Right.
So,
and another thing that we always talk about is the concept of settling, how we feel like just deciding, all right, this person has enough of the things I want in a person that I might as well date them.
I'm cool right here.
Right. Like, I feel like settling, and I know Simon feels like settling, is not a positive thing. And basically, when you join a site like that, you're essentially saying, I am going to settle, because they're like, we guarantee you're going to match up with someone eventually.
Right.
So maybe it's not right away. Maybe you'll go through 100 matches. I doubt anyone makes it that far.
Right, no.
And then you decide, okay, well, this person's good enough. Because the reality is, maybe you'll go through your entire life and you'll never meet anyone that you feel like you could have a successful relationship with.
Right.
But, for most people, that's not the case because of other factors, like they want to have kids, or they want to settle down, they want to grow old with someone. And that's when I feel like online dating actually can make sense, because if that's really what you want, if that is your priority, and maybe you're in your 30s or something, you're like,
right.
wow, I feel like all my friends have kids and I don't have kids, I'd like to have a
You've
kid.
been striking out consistently doing it this other way, so why not try it?
Right, and now you have this perfect thing that you can turn to find the match that that you've been looking for maybe a few years or whatever.
Right. So, anyways, this is actually, it's gotten so crazy and rampant that it's gotten to the point where we have things like this, which I have in my hand, which is the WikiHow, how to flirt on Facebook. I actually subscribe to the iGoogle feed thing that basically just sends you the how-to things, and a lot of them are really stupid, like how to like shred carrots and like stupid shit like that. But some of them are hilarious. And one of them that I got was how to flirt on Facebook, and actually Cole just found out that this has actually been viewed 70,000 times. So I'm guessing that 70,000 people have actually looked at this, have actually searched for this on WikiHow too, like how to flirt on Facebook. And that means that 70,000 people actually want to know, and I guess I'm included in that because I clicked on it. I clicked on it on my iGoogle, but I really wanted to know what it said, and it literally.
And let's keep in mind here, even if a minuscule percentage of these 70,000 actually thought that this was reality, which I'm sure some of them do, like even if 100 people were like, all right, sweet, I'm going to implement these tips.
That's way too many.
And this is just an example of what we're talking about. Like, it's not even eHarmony and Match where you're like, okay, I want to settle down, I want these things. Now it's like, I'm going to use Facebook and MySpace to find the love of my life, and I'm going to spend 4 hours on Facebook a day with the intention of maybe searching through all my friends until I find this perfect person.
Right.
Just fucking leave your house and go walk around and see, talk to some people and see what you find, because that's much more enjoyable.
Well, that's how you make connections anyways. And
right, but in the event that you did want to find your love on Facebook,
right.
they give us these wonderful
There's some tips.
tips.
Like one of them is, if you've already met, mention the occasion. Hey, we met at the office Christmas party. How are you doing? Like, I don't actually fucking know how to talk to people. Like, I have no idea. Oh, I'm actually supposed to tell the person that's where we met, because there's no way she's gonna remember me from the Christmas party.
And this is under the number one suggestion, which is send a friend request.
Only when you have a real life connection.
It's like, oh, well, that's genius.
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks a lot.
So then number two.
Comment on some, but not all of their updates and pictures. So I'm not supposed to comment on every single one of their 10,000 pictures that they have on Facebook.
Right, and not like it's not difficult enough to know how to like effectively flirt and talk to someone and when to talk to someone in person. Now they're like, crap, alright, I'm gonna comment on 5 out of their 6 status updates this week. No, that's probably too many.
No, actually, that WikiHow too told me not to.
The 3-day rule is now actually like the 4 comment rule, or like the half picture rule. You only make commentary about how pretty they look in half of their pictures.
The funny thing about this is, like 20 years ago, this would have been the exact same thing in any men's or women's magazine, except that it wouldn't be on Facebook. It would just be like, say some things about how cute they are and about their life, but don't comment on everything. Don't tell them all.
Yeah, and it would be called. This is where probably Call Them in 3 Days originated.
Exactly.
And someone was like, all right, I'm gonna figure this out about dating.
Right.
And now it's to the point where you should comment on half of their Facebook photos.
And this one says know when to back off, which is obviously like, don't call them, text them too much. Don't be at their house all the time. Like, know when to back off. Really, that's a suggestion.
Well, if they put a dislike under your comment on Facebook,
Yeah,
you're gonna know that this was a mistake.
Right.
You probably should actually back it off to like 1/3 of their pictures
Yeah.
now.
And then interestingly, number 5 is take the flirting off of Facebook. If you're actually interested in dating this person and they're flirting back, see if you can move the flirting offline. Really?
Well, at
Thanks
least,
a lot.
at least they explain to us that
Yeah,
at some point, you can just use this as a meeting site, and
Yeah,
then you
exactly.
can move forward.
Right.